Hi, this is Professor William Wagner from the Great Lakes Justice Center and Salt and Light Global. We have a special Truth Tuesday today because um, there has been a lot of questions sent to me about the situation in the Ukraine, and it is a horrible, atrocious. There are crimes against humanity there. There are violations of international law. And I've received a lot of questions about how is this different? And because everybody knows that it's different. And there's a higher law that is telling everybody on their heart that the actions taken by the Russian government here are so far beyond what is considered lawful in warfare. And so I want to go through the legalities of this to help people understand how different this is and how important it is that we eventually hold the people that are doing these atrocities accountable, and the way that can happen. And I'm going to be going through a Senate resolution that was just enacted, bipartisan, people on both parties recognizing some of the law here that applies. Certainly, we have to begin with the truth that we here in the United States, have a duty and a responsibility to uphold the rule of law, uphold things, the values that are inherent in democracies and liberty and in human rights across all of the world. And so there are numerous international documents, universal declarations that promote human rights, that promote and govern the laws of war, and that uphold and state clearly what the importance of upholding the dignity of human life and human beings. For example, the United Nations Charter, in its preamble, states that member nations must reaffirm a faith in fundamental human rights and in the dignity and worth of the human person. And this Universal Declaration of Human Rights states that member states, and that includes Russia here, have pledged themselves to achieve in cooperation with the United Nations the promotion of universal respect for and observance of human rights and fundamental freedoms. Russia is a signatory to all of these international treaties that I'll be talking about here, including that declaration that I just went through. The International Criminal Court is an international tribunal that we've had some issues with in the past, but with regard to what's happening here, that court seeks to uphold the rule of law where no rule of law exists. And by investigating and trying individuals that engage in the gravest crimes of concern to the international community, including things like genocide, war crimes, crimes against humanity, and the crime of aggression. These are the kind of things, as the evidence mounts and as the video evidence mounts and the actual eyewitness evidence mounts, that all of these kinds of crimes are occurring, all of these kinds of atrocities are occurring at the hands of the Russian government, being inflicted upon the citizens of Ukraine. The International Criminal Court recognizes grave breaches of the 1949 Geneva Convention as constituting a war crime, such as things like the willful killing, torture, inhuman treatment, biological experiments, willfully causing great suffering and great injury to body or health, extensive destruction, and the taking of property that doesn't belong. These are the kind of things not justified by military necessity, and they're being carried out unlawfully and without any kind of moral legitimacy. The International Criminal Court also recognizes other kinds of serious violations of the laws and customs that are applicable to international armed conflict. Things like war crimes, for example, the intentionally directing attacks against civilian population, that has occurred here, as the evidence mounts that is continuing to occur, against individual civilians who aren't taking part in hostilities. It is just such an atrocity to not let the civilian population leave the country while they are, being attacked. I can go on and on and on and on. If those who know the current and understand who this current president of Russia is, this isn't surprising, knowing his character and knowing his capabilities. There are a number of things that can be done to hold him, accountable. And I'm not addressing any, military response right now or military strategy that is beyond the scope of this presentation here. This presentation here is just to, show those of you that are listening that what is occurring in Ukraine right now is illegal under any measure, is considered atrocity, considered a war crime, considered a violation of these international obligations that Russia has. And so the remedies, for that are also, do exist to hold, people that lead these kind of atrocities, to hold them accountable. And I would call upon the State Department to use the full power of its bully pulpit to help the American public understand these what these atrocities are and how they violate international law and how they violate international crime, these crimes against humanity. And so and there is there are ways that that people that are engaging in these atrocities can be held accountable beyond the military strategies. And so I want people to know, and this is how I'm going to close here, that the Justice Center strongly condemns the ongoing violence, the ongoing war crimes, the ongoing crimes against humanity, the systematic violation of human rights abuses being carried out by the Russian armed forces right now. The Senate resolution says as much as well. And so beyond condemning it, though, there needs to be accountability here. But the purpose of this short presentation was to show you that there is no legitimate, proper purpose in the use of military force against the Ukrainian people, and it needs to stop now. So until next time, our prayers are with the Ukrainian people. And until next time, this is Professor William Wagner from the Great Lakes Justice Center and Salt and Light Global. And God bless you all.